Hello everybody, welcome into my Watch Me Wednesday today. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. I have to say it's gorgeous here in Arizona today. I woke up and it was a cool 60 degrees out. Got outside, I got up super early because that's what I do. And I was up at 5, did my workout, went out for a nice walk, and it was absolutely perfect. Beautiful, beautiful weather. So today I've got a really cool little tutorial for you, something that you're going to like. It's a quick little block that you can use to make a great memory quilt. So I've got a little story behind this for you first. So I posted some pictures of the blocks and what I put on my design wall. So 5 years ago, almost 5 years ago, I had asked people to send me for my 50th birthday a signature block with their name, where they live, and the year on it. And I received a ton of blocks to make to commemorate my 50th birthday. Well, 5 years later, I still don't have that quilt all together. So I've decided that in the next month, before my 55th birthday, I'm going to get this quilt together because I just need to do it. And it's one of those UFOs that I've been looking at and I want to get it done. So I figured since I took it out, I'm going to show you how to make a signature block. If you want to make a memory quilt of some sort for yourself, they're great for wedding quilts. Like you can make these blocks and have people sign them when they come in. Baby shower gifts, same type of thing. It would be a great way to have a memory. So hit that share button because I'm sure that some people would like to see how to make this block, and you too can make your own. All right, we're going to get started. So what you need, first I'm going to show you exactly what you need for this block, and I did put a link above me that will take you back to the original blog post back in 2015 with still pictures as well. So if you don't want to go back and watch the video, you can do that as well. First thing you're going to need is you're going to need a block that you can write something on. So I chose pure white, and you need one 4.5 inch block, and then you need two 3.5 inch blocks. So the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to draw a diagonal line on those two 3.5 inch blocks. That's super important because that's how we are going to sew. We're going to sew right on that line. And I'm going to show you how to do this. So the second thing we're going to do is we're going to position the block, the 3.5 inch block, in one of the corners of the 4.5 inch block, and we are going to sew on the diagonal. Now note the position of the diagonal. It's not going this way to the corner, it is going this way. That's super important, okay? Now, once you have that sewn on there, you're going to take it and you will then press it. Now, I sewed that on and I pressed. So I'm going to press it. Now, I leave the back on because we will trim that away later. We'll trim this part here away later because we don't want these two layers. We don't want the white and the colored fabric on. We'll trim those away later. So you're going to press it that way. Next thing you're going to do is you're going to take that second square and you are going to place, I'm going to show you, you're going to place that on the opposite corner with the diagonal going in. It's very hard for me to do this because it's like mirror image. You're going in this direction, okay? Now I'm going to show you. I'm going to turn you so that you can see me sewing this. I'm going to sew it right down that line. So let me turn it, and we're going to point it down here so that you can see what I'm doing. So I have the edges lined up, and I'm going to sew right on that line, okay? So the line is there, and I'm going to sew right on that line. All right, whoops, let me just pull the thread through. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to sew on that line. Now you don't need a 1/4 inch foot for this because you're just sewing on a line. I just happen to have my 1/4 inch foot on. You can leave it on and that's not a problem. If you can't see the line, put a more open toe foot on and that's no problem as well. So now once you've sewed down that line, you are going to do the same thing and you will press this to one side. And you can see where the signature area is going to be. So you press it to one side and that is where the signature area will be. So then what you get next is that's where we sewed it. So here's where we sewed it. We press it and the signature area, okay? Now I'm going to turn you this way so you can see what I'm going to do here. Okay, these are the ones that I showed you. Here is what the block looks like after they are pressed. But remember, we have not trimmed this away. We have not trimmed these 2 layers away. We need to trim those away because we don't want 3 layers of fabric here. So once you've pressed it super nice, you're going to go ahead, pull the top layer back to expose your seam, your stitching, or your seam there. And then you're going to lay your ruler on top. And what I do is, this is my 6.5 inch square ruler. I take that and the 1/4 inch line, I lay it right on the stitching line, which gives me then a 1/4 inch this way. So you're going to trim a 1/4 inch away, okay? And then you're going to turn that around and you're going to do the same to the other side, laying that 1/4 inch on that stitch line and trimming away. Now you have your block. This needs to be a 4.5 inch square. If for whatever reason you have, put water on it, or it's stretched a little bit, you can do some sliver trim if you need to. Looks like maybe just a little sliver trim there, but this will measure out to a 4.5 inch square. Now you have these 2 little bits left, and what I like to do, and what I asked the people who sent me their signature blocks, what I asked them to do is to save these and create these little half square triangles. So it's really super simple. Once you've clipped off, I'm going to show you, once you've trimmed these off, you just keep them together, and then you are going to just simply sew at a 1/4 inch down the one side, and you get these great little half square triangles that you can use in the quilt. Now, I posted a picture earlier of the quilt on my, oops, let me just put my needle down, on my design wall, and I am going to use all the little half square triangles probably in the border of the quilt itself, and I can walk you over there in just a second, but let me show you. So now once you have these little half square triangles done, you can open them up, press them out. Let me open these up. I had sprayed these with a little Mary Ellen's Best Press. So you're going to just press them. I'll just finger press this for now, and then you can square them up really to whatever size you want. And I haven't decided as to what size, but for the time being, I'm going to trim this down to a 2.5 inch square. So you just, with your 6.5 inch square ruler, you're basically putting that 45-degree angle right on that seam allowance there, and you're just trimming the top, the right side and the top, and then you're turning it around a half turn, and you're doing the same to the other side, and then you get this little 2.5 inch square, and that's probably what I'm going to be trimming all the other squares up to, is a 2.5 inch square. So that is what you will get. You'll get 2 half square triangles, and one 4.5-inch square signature block. It's a great block, like I said, for weddings or baby shower, etc. So now I bet, oops, sorry, that's my hand. I'm sorry about that. And I want to show you, if you'd like to see, the quilts over there. I'll bring you over there real quick. You have to mind my messy studio. So let's take you over there. I gotta do this with a steady hand, okay? So can you see over here? So here is, and you can see what I'm doing up here with the half square triangles up there. And you can see how the quilts, when you put the blocks together, they form this crisscross, which is really cool. So depending on how many blocks you get, now I'm going to use blocks in the corner squares. You can see here where I have one up there. I took the other ones down, but I have to trim some of those to make that sawtooth border, and I may actually insert white inner border there as well. So that is how you make this fabulous little block that you can use for, like I said, a bridal shower quilt, a baby shower quilt, any kind of memory quilt. I would love to see what you guys come up with, and some of you may have seen your names in here, and you'll see they're all dated 2015. So yes, it's been 5 years, and I will be 55 in a month, and I need to get this done before my 55th birthday because it's just getting a little too old to have a UFO that way. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. I hope you make your own signature blocks. I would love to see what you do, and I'd love to see how you design your quilt when you make it. It'd be cool. I asked for Scrappy Brights, but if you did like a wedding quilt and it had a color theme to it, or a baby shower and that had a color theme to it, it'd be great to see it in, the color theme of that shower. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I hope you guys are doing well and staying healthy. Thanks for popping in, and I will see you next week. Until then, happy quilting, have some fun, make some signature blocks, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye all.